This area of Montana, the eastern corner, has always been a very strong durum producing region for probably 50 years. And I like to think, and I still think this way, that we have probably one of the best quality durum crops in the world. You know, the spring we had a late spring because we had moisture. It was very cold, and so we had some delays in our planting. This whole region did, you know, northeast Montana. We had a late snow. It was cold to start with, and had snow on the ground. And then what it did is a late snowstorm, the end of April, first part of May, that delayed us even further yet. Most of the guys like to try and get their seeding started around the second, third week in April. Most of the planting here started about the first to the second week in May. So a lot of delays. I mentioned to you earlier, there's still some guys seeding today. I mean, they're trying to finish up. So basically, moisture-wise, the snow that came, a lot of our stock ponds and dams and dugouts were empty. They had nothing in them. Now they're full. Medicine Lake National Wildlife Refuge right down the road here was basically at one of its lowest points in a long time. It's almost back up to full capacity again just because of runoff. This is some of our earliest planting. You can see the leaves are nice and green and healthy. No lesions, so there's no leaf diseases. Things look really good. I think at this point we're doing really good. The root systems are well developed. Like most guys, we do seed treat, and that helps to prevent, you know, on cold soils. Although right now the soil temperatures are way above, you know, the optimum levels. They're easily in the 70s, and that's probably a little bit too hot for most of it. Well, I guess we talked about earlier. We talked about some of the grasshopper issues. There's some hatching coming out right now in the last week, 10 days, that are causing some damage. Primarily in areas that were bad last year too. Last 2 years even, we've had some grasshopper issues. We haven't had a big problem on this particular farm, but we do have a west farm about 20 miles to the west of us that has some issues that last year and this year both. And so we'll do some border spraying to try and control those populations and try and keep that down. Right now, probably the biggest concern here on the eastern part of the county and southern is that lack of moisture. We did not have a lot of stored soil moisture going into the spring. So right now, I would say we're behind. We've received about 2.5 inches of moisture since the 1st of April, and that's not enough to carry us through much longer. We typically have 5 to 7 inches of precip during the growing season, which is typically May, June, and our two biggest months. And July is usually a thunderstorm month, so which means it comes down all at once and runs off. So basically 5 to 7 inches, and we can cut an average crop, which for this country is around 30 bushels. So if we can get 30 bushels, we'd be happy. Right now, without moisture, we will not attain that. Okay. It's just, we just need more moisture here in the next week, 10 days. Otherwise, we're in trouble.